Good morning. Let me just take a few minutes and try to give you a little bit of context for the week's events and the importance of why so many are here. We have, what, Dave, almost 11,000 and change? 500 have registered for the conference, so that's, I think, an all-time record for this event. But we were 10,000 and change last year?
Yes.
Yeah, so about 1,000, which is a good sign. And about 350 customer speakers, presenters at the event, which is always important because we do want to have our customers have the opportunity to tell their stories. They do so in an unvarnished fashion, so it's not just IBMers articulating the portfolio, but customers actually talking about their experience and working with the technology. Obviously, a focus on the value that they're getting from the technology. And frankly, we think that one of the reasons why these events that we hold throughout the year are so popular is because not only do the customers have a chance to participate directly, but also those that come get to interact with, essentially, with their colleagues, with people that are also trying to figure out how do I use the technology in just the right way to get value in my business. And that's an important aspect of these events. Let me just put this whole notion of information on demand in context for you. And there are many ways in which to think about the information technology industry. You know, it is a $1.2+ trillion industry when you consider all the different elements of information technology. And there are a lot of ways to slice it and dice it and think about it in all of its many segments. But I think if you step above those numbers and you start to look at it from the context of how businesses apply information technology, they are using it as a business tool to drive business outcome, and they're applying it in a couple of dimensions. They're applying it against business process, meaning using it to automate the way in which they do their transactions. You know, how do I process orders? How do I deal with receivables, payables, supply chain? You know, all of the core process activities that make up any company. Information technology has been an enabler over the last 100 years when you consider mechanical devices, moving to electromechanical, and then over the last 50 years, programmable computing. But it's been primarily used to help automate process, and certainly businesses could not be as big as they are today, as sophisticated as they are today, without the use of information technology to speed up all of those core processing activities. And it's been such a mainstay of information technology as an industry that we kind of take it for granted as what you use computers for. But there's also another dimension of how information technology gets used, and that's in the context of trying to understand what is happening and what may happen in the future. Using information technology to analyze the incredible quantities of data that exist inside of every company, data that may be related to process, data that may be related to customer activity, to sales, to customer interest, may be related to supply chain and the challenges of geospatial movement of products and goods around the world. There's lots and lots of analytic challenges that exist. And those challenges in many cases have been somewhat daunting to get at. Insofar as the cost of computing was often an inhibitor to deal with very complex, large quantities of data that would consume an enormous amount of compute horsepower, compute cycles. But consider where we are today in 2011. Information technology has gotten much more sophisticated. Computers have gotten dramatically faster. You know, even though Moore's Law no longer is operating as it once did, we're still delivering price performance improvements through systems architecture and packaging in ways that are making it possible for customers to take advantage of ever improving price performance on the server side, and the cost of storage is coming down. So there are lots and lots of challenges and problems that are coming into focus and now possible to attack using information technology that were cost prohibitive in years past. Now, the kinds of challenging analytic projects, and you'll hear those throughout the week, you know, things that 5 years ago might have really cost too much money to take on have now come into focus. So this whole area of exploiting information technology, computing, to deal with analytics, to deal with understanding, and to deal with prediction and projection now is accelerating. And we see growth rates in the industry that are 2 to 3x that we see in the more traditional process automation spaces. So what's happening is that part of the market, that element of corporate spend and government spend on information technology used around data and analytics now is beginning to catch up with the amount of spend that's being used around process and process automation. We recognized this in IBM some years ago. We started the journey to build out a comprehensive, broadly based information infrastructure for our clients really back in the 1990s. That's been accelerating since then. Our first major announced event for talking about business analytics and this kind of sophisticated business analysis goes back to 2006. Obviously along the way, as you heard, we brought a lot of companies into IBM, some 25 acquisitions, $14+ billion spent. Here in the 2011 time frame, we're generating some pretty significant growth for IBM, as you heard in the introduction. Year to date, 19% growth across our business analysis and optimization activities across the business, hardware, software, and services, and we're projecting out that for IBM, this is going to be a $16 billion area for our business in terms of hardware and software technologies as we look out to the 2015 time frame. So a very big opportunity, important opportunity, fast-growing opportunity, and the technologies have become much more accessible. The price points have come down, and the ability to take advantage of the art of the possible in information technology now has come into focus in a way that's made this, we think, one of the most exciting opportunities going forward. And even as you consider the economic challenges of the current period, whether you're on the private sector or the public sector side, you still see a lot of money flowing into analytics. Whether you're a business or a government, you want to become more predictive. You want to become more proactive in the way you look to the future. And it's helping businesses optimize the way they operate every day, and it's helping them make important decisions on where they want to invest their money, how they want to try to take advantage of the customer relationships they have, build new customer relationships, and manage business risk. The more data you have to analyze, the more potential you have to understand the risks that you're facing in your business and do a better job of managing and controlling risk. So we see this as a very big opportunity space. We have put together the industry's most comprehensive portfolio. Throughout the week you'll hear about that, and it literally covers everything from core data store structures, databases, various types of structured and unstructured data management, all the tools necessary to bring data together, organize it, structure it, put it in a form where you can do something with it, and then a broad base of analytic tools that sit on top of that. Statistical, algorithmic, things that allow you to deal with real-time data, real-time streaming data, everything that we're going to talk about this week in terms of what we're referring to around big data, our big insights capability, the ability to deal with all types of data and all kinds of forms, bring it together, understand patterns and structures, and get value out of it. So it's a very unique set of capabilities. It's the aggregation of many decades of research and development in IBM, along with the numerous acquisitions that we've made. And something that we're very excited about. And frankly, we see very good long-term growth prospects in this market space. We've really only just begun to scratch the surface in terms of the art of the possible. You'll continue to see improvements on the hardware side that bring about better economics for doing ever more sophisticated, complex analytic challenges. And of course, the software will in turn keep pace with the possibilities that are made available through the hardware to be able to deal with ever bigger, more significant, and more challenging projects. This is clearly an area that IBM has been investing to lead. Our growth rates, our market share and position is really unrivaled in the tech industry.